Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Yeah, baby. Kicking things off proper. AC/DC, Highway to Hell, Philly Joe and Kirby. Good morning. Thursday edition of the program. Thanks for joining us.
You know, it's a thankful Thursday, and I'm sure Phil's got some calls lined up on the bone phone in just a couple of minutes. But I was just thinking, Kirby in her news was talking about this Canada Post situation and how they're going to try and get it resolved, but still far apart. And people have talked about getting their packages, obviously, in time for Christmas. But this has affected a lot of charities. This time of year, the mailers go out and they rely on those dollars coming in. So just a reminder that Tuesday is Giving Tuesday coming up after Cyber Monday.
That's right.
And maybe if you've donated in the past, you could do that online for your favorite charities, because the mail is definitely not going out by Tuesday or in time before Christmas, it doesn't look like. And also, if you're shopping because of Black Friday, maybe hit some of the stores here locally this year, too, because online could be affected if Canada Post has been delivering your packages and not just places like Amazon. It might just be a friendly reminder that
That's awesome.
we could support local a little bit harder this year.
Speaking of which, a week tomorrow, so not tomorrow, but next Friday is Dr. Goodbear's Give-a-thon in support of the Children's Hospital Foundation of Manitoba. PJK, well, all of 92.1 City going to be broadcasting at the Outlet Collection Mall from 6 a.m. till 7 p.m. You'll remember we did this last year.
Loved it.
It was so fun. I can't wait. And you can donate now. You don't have to wait until next Friday. Goodbear.ca or 921city.ca.
Right, and they've got a full situation going on there where they have matching donors already in place. And that kind of stuff. So your dollars double up, which is nice. And I still remember we went shopping with Kirby.
We did.
A little bit there at the mall, in between a couple of records.
Do you remember you and I did some mall walking to get warmed up for the day?
We did.
There was mall walkers, mostly seniors, but we jumped right in there. We tried not to get in their way because they're walking with more pace than us.
100%.
But that was fun.
You move out of their way.
Yeah,
you learn.
you
it's like I was at the F1 race. Believe me, you can see people jockeying for position, even at the Outlets collection.
I'm going to be hanging out at Polo Park on location on Friday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess that is tomorrow. Like right after the show from 10 to 2 with Thermea.
Awesome. Okay, Bone Phone coming up at 6:20 this morning. It's a busy morning. Jets tickets.
Yeah,
we have
man.
Jets tickets at 7:45, so don't go anywhere today.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast. Got something to say?
Okay, I'll say it.
Well, you should probably call the Bone Phone and let her rip.
It actually feels nice to finally say it out loud.
780-BONE. Brought to you by Auto Gallery of Winnipeg.
So thankful Thursday. So there's this woman I used to be with. Amongst other things, she actually broke up with me one time because I needed to get some sleep. Guess what? She finally moved out of the neighborhood. Ding dong. The crazies are gone. Thankful Thursday's got it going on.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to focus on the and other things. Among other things that you added in there as well.
Well, what was the reason for the breakup, though? Something about not enough sleep? That's harsh.
He didn't let her sleep. Or she didn't let him sleep.
Yeah, that's harsh. Breakup for that reason. That doesn't feel like a very good reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be compatible. Like, you have to be compatible sleep-wise.
Do you think?
I think
like,
so.
What does that mean?
I think so. For me, like, I don't think I could be with somebody who's, well, maybe I could, though, like a night owl, because I'm not staying out late.
This through? Well, we can talk this through. We got time. just the way you're going. And how do we know what he's inferring on what was keeping him up?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
That's true, but I think, like,
You're thinking jobs and that
like
kind of stuff.
early bird, yeah.
I'm not compatible with somebody
Well,
with
now
different
that I
sleep
think of it.
hours than me.
Yeah, they're
Not
saying,
gonna work.
listen, we got more time. We got to hash this out.
Joe, you got time after the show? Because I'd like to
Nothing
chat.
but
Okay.
time. Nothing but time for you, my friend.
Big N wants to talk about a couple things. Something for Kirby, too, here.
Morning, guys. We finally got back to work today. First day back driving the school bus.
And as expected, we had 3 or 4 were stuck. We had a couple of breakdowns once it would start. Other thing I wanted to bring up was not so new movie review. Kirby hasn't done a whole lot of comedy type movies, I don't think. And one that came to mind the other day, which is a movie I really love, is Inner Space with Martin Short, Dennis Quaid, and Meg Ryan. So I want to check that one out. And if she's not into that one, any one of the Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder movies they're all great. My favorite is Hear No Evil, See No Evil. I love that movie. Anyways, that's it for today. Rock on, big in, out.
Mm-hmm. I think you said it earlier, Joe. I don't see Kirby liking the Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor movies as good as they are.
Yeah, it won't be her thing for sure.
Well, and the not so new movie review is always been about the action movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
that's right.
We're gonna keep that.
There's still so many. You've only done one Chuck Norris movie, one Seagal movie, one Van Damme movie. I mean, there's entire catalogs there that we haven't touched that you will do for sure.
I can't wait. You know what? I could probably do one this weekend.
You could?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let her know. I vote for another Seagal movie. What have you done?
It's been a hot minute since I've had Seagal.
Was it Under Siege that you
Yes.
did? Okay, we'll get into this later on this morning. And
We should have written a list out because we always forget.
I
which
know we
ones.
do.
Like Chuck Norris, once you said there was only one, I said only one so far?
She did Lone Wolf McQueen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was good after that.
You should watch it again. It was that good.
We'll wrap up with this. This is John with a J, and he's mad. He's mad. Just like the guy the other day he figures the Jets aren't getting enough respect.
So here we go. What does it mean to be the most valuable player to your team? It means one answer, Connor Hellebuck, period. End of story. Like Vince Carter said, it's over. The most valuable player 20-some-odd games into the NHL season, there is only one. There isn't even a conversation. Let's start giving some of our credit where credit. I agree with the angry drinker that called in a little while back, freaking out, no respect.
He was
I
mad.
feel like Rodney Dangerfield, and Winnipeg should feel like Rodney Dangerfield. No respect at all.
Can we just, for a second, nobody wants to be known as a angry drinker. Like, Joe's a great guy. He gets angry when he drinks.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, but we all have those people in our lives, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you're right, though. There's no one that wants that as their moniker.
No.
Though. Hey, you know what? My friends, they call me the angry drinker.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Philly Joe and Kirby's Entertainment Rundown.
Okay, we've seen this before, taking popular kids' movies, nostalgia, and turning them into horror movies, terrifying movies. I know Winnie the Pooh. They did it with Winnie the Pooh. There's been more, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. Well, the newest one is Popeye the Slayer Man. That's right. Here's
The
a
Slayer Man?
Yeah, they
Wow.
are turning Popeye into a sociopathic killer. Here's 30 seconds of the trailer.
You're, aware of the charming stories circulating about this place.
I don't believe in ghost stories.
He's not a ghost. The Sailor Man is real. He doesn't take kindly to visitors stopping at his doorstep.
Do you know where the factory closed down 20 years ago? There was a spinach contamination.
So I guess he ate bad spinach.
Isn't all spinach bad?
No, Joe, it's good.
I'll tell you what, that would make some of us surly if all you lived on is spinach.
Oh, yeah. You're exact. That makes complete sense. The man lived on spinach. Of course he went crazy.
I hate to see what happens to Wimpy and the burgers.
And who was his arch
Olive
nemesis?
Oil was his girlfriend.
There was a...
Olivsk.
And then Popeye's arch nemesis. I'm going to have to Google that. Anyway.
Brutus?
Brutus, yes. I don't think he's in this. That could be down the road. Like Popeye the Slayer Man 1 or 2.
Because Popeye sounds like the bad guy in all this, right?
That may be a complete turn of events and Brutus is the good guy, or I have no idea. Anyway, 2025... Hilarious. It hits theaters, Popeye the Slayer Man.
I never watched the cartoon, but I was part of a dance performance when I was really young. I have like VHS tape of it of doing Popeye the Sailor Man with tap dance.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
Doing the Slayer Man as a musical. Kirby, you should look into that.
Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins and Bill Burr sat down on Howie Mandel's podcast recently. And it's interesting because you put those two together, okay, side by side, and the two of them look a lot alike. Bill Burr and Billy Corgan. And
yeah, I guess so. You're right. Yeah.
basically, Billy was saying that his dad has like all these children that he had out of wedlock.
Right.
With the affairs that he had over the years. And so Billy's like, I got siblings out there that I don't know about. But I mean, the chances would be pretty rare, but it was an interesting conversation because, I mean, yeah, when you put the two together, they do look a lot alike.
Interesting.
Bill Burr, by the way, headlined last year, great outdoor comedy festival. Another announcement next week on the last of the headliners for Winnipeg.
Oh, that's exciting.
Listen, today obviously is U.S. Thanksgiving, so a lot of American shows will be repeats outside of the Macy Thanksgiving Day Parade that is iconic, and of course 3 football games that Phil mentioned.
Yep.
But the National Dog Show goes today, and it's huge because you get the Best in Show winner out of this. So you're talking 1,800 of the nation's top dogs, 190. I didn't even know there was 190 different breeds of dogs, but dog lovers, they know about it. They'll be putting the red dot on the National Dog Show today.
Can we gamble on that? I got to check
I
it
bet
out.
you could.
PlayNow.com. See if
I don't know if you can on Play Now, but I'm sure it's out there.
You better believe it. You can gamble on anything.
Gamble on dogs.
I'm going to sit and watch with Stewie today on TV on football, and I'll say, look, you could have been a contender, kid.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
And now, it's time for the Lock of the Week. Lock it up.
You know, we didn't originally have any plans to do the Lock of the Week American Thanksgiving special, like with the NFL games today, but we got a request, a couple, in fact, yesterday. Hey, please tell me you guys are going to pick some football games with it being Thanksgiving in the States. And so ask and you shall receive. So here we go. 3 games today. 3 games in the NFL. We'll all pick one, and I feel really good about this ticket. I'll go first. Miami at Green Bay, the primetime game. And my spider sense told me that Miami doesn't play well in cold weather. It's like, I got to check. I got to research this and look into some of the stats about how they do when they have to travel. It's a short week for Miami and play in cold weather. So look at this stat. The Dolphins have won just once in the last 32 years when the temperature is lower than -5.
Wow.
At kickoff tonight with the wind chill, it's going to feel like -9.
Wow, and Tua's been playing really well lately. This is a big test for Miami to try and beat a good team on the road.
In the cold weather.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. Give me Green Bay, and they're actually paying half decent because Miami's playing well. On PlayNow.com, the money line, Green Bay's paying $1.56, and I will take the pack. Kirby?
Okay.
Well, you know that the Lions are the current favorite to win the NFC title and capture the Super Bowl, so I got to go with the Lions.
Most people say they're the favorite to, like you just said, to win it all. Like, people have them as the best team in football right now.
Right. Well, they could have gone a lot farther. Coach made a couple of bad decisions and gambled last year in the playoffs, right? That cost them.
That doesn't stop Kirby from loving Coach.
No.
All I think about is you guys. Yeah. That's all I think about, man. That's all I think about is you guys.
Mm-hmm. We love a man who wears his emotions on his sleeve.
Dan does. Dan is a beauty, an absolute beauty. Dan Campbell, coach of the Lions.
I one day hope I get to meet him.
Mm-hmm. All I think about is you, Kirby. All I think about is you.
That's what I'm going to tell him. All I think about is you, Dan. And then I'm going to be ushered away by his security. So I'm going to take Detroit over the Bears. They're in Detroit.
They're in Detroit.
The Chicago Bears, because, listen, the Lions are going to feast on the Bears.
Look at that.
In
you did
the
it.
Turkey Day matchup.
You went there.
That doesn't sound like that was read from some sports
Joe,
site.
I wrote that.
Yeah, no, I bet.
With my own imagination.
Yes, you did.
Lions are 9.5-point favorites. They're only paying $1.16. But I like that pick. Yeah.
I mean,
they're going to win. The Lions will beat the
Detroit
Bears.
usually wins at home, and they play at home on Thanksgiving. I'll tell you what, I bet you I might look at the Bears covering the spread, though. I think it might be closer than people think.
Divisional
because,
game?
and Thanksgiving. Giants are in Dallas. That's my game, the middle of the day. Cowboys upset the Commanders last week. They had a little help from the Commanders kicker. But either way, they're going in there with a little confidence. They're playing at home. They usually play pretty well at home on Thanksgiving. They're not doing well at home this year. But I hate to bet against Tommy Cutlets. Tommy DeVito's playing for the Giants, who are just terrible this year.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give the Cowboys the nod. But don't forget, there's a game tomorrow on Amazon Prime, right?
Oh, what?
Yeah, they're on Black Friday. They've got the Raiders and Chiefs, and we're all taking the Chiefs, okay? On Amazon Prime, if you want to add a fourth game.
Sure.
But I'm going to take, I guess, all the home teams. We're taking all 4 home teams.
Okay. $20 bet will pay about close to $60.
Yeah, it's not a lot with some of the odds, but you got to take the favorites.
That's it. That's our picks. Lock it up.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp, and on my new podcast, Bite Back with Abby Sharp, I'll be dismantling the multi-billion-dollar diet industry that keeps us in a cycle of self-loathing and food fear. Join me every Tuesday for expert interviews, engaging conversations, and my signature science and sass to bust myths, correct misinformation, and help you break free from diet culture for good. Listen for free on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Here we go, 92.1 City, Winnipeg's rock station. Rob Bebenek, you're so funny that Joe's laughing off here, and he's not even talking to you. Your mere presence just in the room makes Joe chuckle.
I was just sitting here quietly, and Joe just started laughing at me.
That's it. That's how good. I'll tell you what. Imagine now when I sit and listen to your shtick. No, we're big fans of yours. You've been in here before with us.
I have, yes. And you guys had me back, so I must have done something right.
Well, you sold out Tuesday night already at Rumors, so I can just imagine that the weekend's going to look pretty good. Friday, Saturday, tonight too.
Yeah. I'm not saying this because I'm here. Rumors Comedy Club is the best comedy club in Canada.
We hear that all the time.
It really is.
Yeah.
And is like any comic who's fortunate enough to play it is just like, yeah, that's the gold standard.
Yeah, I think it's all due respect to the comedians and you, Rob. I think it has something to do with the nachos too. They have very good nachos.
Yes,
at Rumors.
fantastic.
They are good nachos.
You really get your money's worth.
Yeah. They don't skimp on that. It's a mountain. It's
Definitely
a mountain
not management. We know that. It's got to be the food and the comics.
I got to say, Rob, I was admiring your headshot, your photo, your bio photo at rumorscomedyclub.com. It's a sharp, and I'm not being sarcastic, it's a sharp photo. If
I
you
like
wanna...
how you've had to state that a couple of times. I'm not being sarcastic.
Well, no, because Joe, whenever I give Joe a compliment, he thinks I'm being sarcastic. So I want to make sure, Rob...
It is starting to be a little bit suspect. You keep saying, no, seriously, I like this picture of your face.
It's really trying to sell you.
You look handsome, if I may dare. You look really good.
I do. It's my most handsome photo. That's why I use it.
That's a pro shot, is what you're saying. Like when Rob was putting the portfolio together, that was like model photographer. Black. We got to take some black and whites.
That was the keeper. Head on over to the Rumors Comedy Club website and have a look at my face.
Absolutely. That's the picture that's going to get you like a certain amount of corporate gigs where you can raise the price.
That's how it works. This guy is charming enough looking to play our corporate Christmas party.
Absolutely.
Bang.
Now more than ever, though, comedians really do have a bit of a presence in terms of like their look, because I've seen clips of you pop up on my social media, like just scrolling reels and TikTok and stuff like that.
It's very weird for me because I don't post anything. If you've ever been over to my Instagram page, you'll see that I post like 4 things a year, and then other people post that. Like I don't even have a TikTok account,
right?
And there's clips of me on TikTok, and I'm like, how did you find this? I'm doing my best to be an anonymous comedian. I don't want people to know I exist.
An anonymous comedian.
No, but it looks that way. I am the worst at self-promotion.
Listen, you're here too for Black Friday tomorrow, so people can actually come in, get themselves that gift card deal that Rumors has on and stay for the show tomorrow night. Like, that's about as good time management as any person can have going into the holiday season.
It really is. You got a great show, and I mean, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the other acts on the show, of course, and then I do my thing at the end. But it's well worth coming to check out.
No kidding.
By the way, do you want to go get in line with me to buy a TV tomorrow morning? Black Friday. I always do it every year.
Yeah, just for the fighting.
Just you and I, hang out, Rob.
All right. They hand out chits now, Rob. It's not the old, you got to wait there from like 1 a.m. So after your show tonight, Phil's not picking you up to wait in line. They'll give you a chit while you're in line so you can come back later.
So you don't have to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, with no
There's
fighting.
no more fighting.
No fighting.
Well,
yeah.
that sort of takes the sport out of it, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Hey, Rob, do you want to tell us a little bit about your nickname? It's also your Instagram handle.
Yes.
Old Bebsy?
Old Bebsy.
Yeah.
Like as in old, like he's an old, because I used to be the old man in the basement with, this is going to come off sounding really creepy, but it's not. I lived in a house with 4 girls who were all younger than me. Of age, like it wasn't like a weird situation. They were all early 20s.
Is this the Playboy Mansion?
We had some fun. No, it was I was just the joke was I was the old man in the basement because I was like 27 and they were like 21.
Okay.
And so then it was just, and then I've been Bebsy my whole life because I don't know, that's what you do with guys' names who play hockey.
Yes.
We take a part of it and then we add SY or SIE at the end, so I was Bebsy. And then I became the old man in the basement, and then Ol and Bebsy just kind of became a thing.
Sounds
so
like
I
a
became,
Netflix documentary, Old Man in the Basement.
Origin story.
Yeah, the old 27-year-old in the basement.
But to a 21-year-old girl, that is old, right? Like I can put myself in that, mindset of being like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
what an older man.
I was old.
For them. You're a dinosaur to them.
Yeah.
Rob, we appreciate you coming in. Curbs, do we have tickets to give away?
We do, surprisingly, yeah.
Excellent.
If you want to go check out Rob's show at Rumors tomorrow night, all you got to do is text Rob at 762-555 and we'll throw you in a draw.
Text Bebsy.
Sure.
Okay, that too. Yeah, that will get you in.
Or Old Man in the Basement. We'll accept any of them. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks so much for having me.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Philly Joe and Kirby's
Throwdown Thursday.
Yeah, baby. 92.1 City. Well, the Facebook page is where you vote on this, or on the Boston Pizza text line. Today we're going tires, because it's that time of year. Time for a serious discussion, because it comes up all the time. And every time we bring up winter tires, there's inevitably a few people on the text line who will be like, I don't use winter tires. I go with all seasons.
Who are we going to start with?
I'll go first. I'll say that, I can see that. I don't use winter tires with my truck because it's a fairly new truck and I got new all seasons on it. So, but my wife uses winter tires, so I'm like split down the middle.
Yeah,
I'll say winter tires. I believe they help. I believe you should have them.
It's funny, I'm in the same boat this year because I just bought a new vehicle and the dealership actually suggested that I just try the new vehicle with the new technology in it with the all seasons. And if I decide after a few snowfalls that I want the winter tires, they'll be happy to order them for me, which is good. It's not an upsell. And so far, not so bad. Like, you're going to find ice is still ice, but I find that right now, not so bad. So I'm going to go with all season. At this point, because that's the new reality for me right now. But yeah, the rest of the family, all winter tires.
All winters, yeah. Kirby, you're a winter tire girl, aren't you?
I'm going to be honest,
We would appreciate if you're honest.
No.
Would you lie, actually?
Please lie.
if you lined up an all-season tire and a winter tire, I truly could not tell you the difference. I'm sure I could feel the difference on the vehicle, for sure.
I think if someone showed you, it'd be easy. You'd be like,
It's the tread.
Yes.
More robust.
Yeah.
Softer rubber.
I definitely did get winter tires when I first moved to Winnipeg because everyone was like, you got to have winter tires when you're there. And now I just got a new vehicle like Joe, and they have pretty good all seasons. So I'm going to go with winter, though, because I feel like that's what MPI would want me to say.
Really? Okay. So good.
Yeah, you're something else today. Let me
just.
Okay, so let us know. And look, maybe we'll just to make it simpler. What's on your vehicle for the winter? Right? Are you going?
Yes.
Because I think we can all agree.
That's actually a better way of answer this question. What's on your vehicle right now? Winter tires or all season?
Absolutely. It's Thursday Throwdown, and we have some tickets attached to it too as well, right, Kirby?
Yeah, this really cool Cirque kind of show coming into the Burt on December 7th called Christmas in Space. Those are up for grabs if you comment on either Instagram or Facebook.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
I love Wab Kinew. Proud to call him our premier, but just watching his Instagram of their hockey practice yesterday, preparing to take on the Mayor, coached by Philly Joe and Kirby. And I got to say, listen, Wab, I mean, it was only a few seconds, but not super impressed with the layout of the practice. Didn't look like, any hard drills were being done. I didn't see, any whiteboards involved. I didn't see anybody usually you start a drill, and if you're trying to fire up a team and you start a drill, they're doing it a little sloppy, you got to blow that whistle, you got to pull them together, and you let them have it. You read them the riot act. Faster, game speed, that kind of stuff. And
I'm leaving the coaching to you.
There was none of that in Wab Kinew's little video on Instagram.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, you guys.
Would you save those for the pregame speech? You're blowing them all out the door.
No, I got lots.
Before Saturday.
I got lots.
But how many? You need to come up with, 3 before the game?
I'm taking on the GM role. This I can't listen to these quotes all game for one. Second
Pain
of all,
is temporary, glory is forever,
That's
Joe.
enough. That's it.
Stop it. You're out of control.
She's glitching. She just starts throwing. Did it?
I'm going to be sitting up in the stance with my hat on,
Stogie.
clipboard, and stogie. Bring out a stogie.
Sir, there's no smoking. I'm the GM.
Listen, it's a city versus the province in a fun game to celebrate, Winnipeg 150. But I'll tell you right now, can't get tight-lipped over there at the province. I don't know what their starting lineup is. Have you heard? No,
haven't heard much.
The crickets.
Wab Kinew wants to win.
Sure, he wants
He's
to
a
win.
competitive guy,
and so's Gillingham.
So is the Mayor. The Mayor played in the MJ. He wants a dub.
You guys, the more difficult the victory, the greater the happiness in winning.
Why am I suddenly looking forward to this game being over with?
Yeah.
So, we're behind a bench. Don't give me none of this in the stand, smoking a stogie GM crap, Joe. We're behind a bench. The way,
Yes.
any proper coaching staff, you got 3 of them on that bench. So, Kirby, are you...
Kirby working the gate?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you want to work a gate, open and close? You want to work?
I thought I was there for motivational speaking.
You're working.
You're not motivating them, while the game is on. You
Why?
can go
When
give
they
a
come
guy
off
on
the
the
ice, I'll give them a little quote.
No, that's got to be at the intermission. It's an hour-long game. There's no intermission. That was the joke.
You want the...
no quotes.
You want the defensive gate or the forwards?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Joe, do you?
I'm leaving it to Kirby because...
or do we all stand? We could all stand up and let them work their own gate, on the bench.
Yeah.
Don't they just hop over the thing?
No, they got to open the gate. They're not in the NHL.
Yeah.
We probably don't have to open the gate for them. They're adults, so I think we stand on the bench.
I feel like I'm going to get in the way.
Mm-hmm. You?
I mean, working the gate.
Yeah. No. I think, we're standing
Okay.
behind.
I got one more for you guys, though, okay? The will to win is important, but the will to prepare is vital.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to prepare.
I don't see how we can lose. I don't see how.
With this going on. I just have to ask why you're using them now and not Saturday.
I'm trying to get myself hyped up, Joe.
Oh.
Like, how can I be a leader and lead our team on Saturday if I don't feel the motivation now?
You know what? You've taken the work right off my plate. I'm going to enjoy the game. I appreciate it.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Okay, now let's dig into a movie for Kirby who divulged 10 minutes ago, not even, hey, I'm up for a not-so-new movie review. And immediately the suggestions piling in on the Boston Pizza text line. There's so many good options. We're wondering if we should dig deeper into the Seagal library, Chuck Norris library, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Somebody had suggested Rumble in the Bronx, which is Jackie Chan.
She hasn't done a Jackie Chan yet.
And then somebody said, never mind Rumble in the Bronx. How about Paul Newman's Fort Apache, the Bronx? And that was a great movie.
Paul Newman, though, isn't that like an old
Be an
movie?
old school movie. Yeah, it would be, for sure.
I'll have to check what year, but Paul Newman is Paul Newman, though. I mean...
no, I understand.
He's a legend.
Understand.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
But he's not following into the genre of movies that...
Is it in color?
81. Yeah, it was 1981.
Okay.
It's not Casablanca.
Oh, my God.
So if you're going to do a Seagal movie, I do believe it should be above the law.
I do want to mention that...
or out for justice.
Long-distance cousin Danny Aiello was in Fort Apache, the Bronx. Okay?
He's good. I like Danny Aiello.
He played a cop.
It's fantastic.
Threw somebody off the roof of a building in the movie. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. Great movie.
Somebody suggested Machete with Danny Trejo.
Machete.
Oh, boy. You can't go wrong with...
I think I might have seen that.
Somebody's suggesting Big Trouble in Little China.
No. It's been done.
She's seen
and
it.
honestly, like, I don't think I'll ever recover.
She hated it.
You know what? Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man comes up a lot on the list when we suggest it. It was a cool movie. Wasn't that Kurt Russell? And
do you know what? I've never seen it.
You should watch it.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen it, so I can't vouch.
This is a rare occurrence.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it was a good movie.
Okay, so that's a possibility.
Interesting.
And then there's a few different people thrown in movies with Charles Bronson. Now, that was more my era.
Death Wish.
And I'll tell you why. And that's probably why I like the Liam Neeson movie so much. Every time this poor guy, somebody in his family died, usually his wife, and then it would go on to, that was somebody's death wish, right? And Charles Bronson, I mean...
again, with the wrong guy to mess with his family,
Yes.
Bronson. I mean, you're right, Joe, every movie, like, such bad luck. His house gets broken into, he gets home invaded, and really, you broke into Charles Bronson's house and kidnapped somebody in his family? Bad move.
But you know what? Mickey Rourke, Don Johnson together as Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, it only got 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I liked it.
Did Death Wish get remade by Bruce Willis? Or is that a completely different
That's
movie?
Die Hard.
No, he's in another movie called Death Wish.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, my God.
I don't know.
Okay, can I throw this out there?
Yes, go.
Okay. I think 'tis the season, and there's this movie that's getting a lot of attention on Netflix nowadays with them getting a lot of good views. And in fact, I think Rotten Tomatoes has a very high score.
Yeah.
It's called Hot Frosty.
No.
And I think that you guys should review it.
No, I'm not watching Hot Frosty.
Listen, I do these movies all the time.
Kirby's
I know.
not so new movie
but
review.
You
There is
guys did
nothing-
a special Philly and Joe review
What
one
the hell's
time.
Hot Frosty?
It's a holiday movie about a hot man who moves to a town and falls in love with a girl.
No, we're not cutting a deal here that we
Yeah,
watch
well, this
Hot
was
Frosty.
I'll tell you what, I'm still reading up on Death Wish 3 from 1985. I didn't realize they went that deep into the 90s.
Well, a lot of these movies you guys bring up are franchises, right? Like they have multiple movies in
when
them.
you have a success like
great.
Death Wish and then have to come up with Death Wish 2 and go, hey, we can continue with this.
My wife,
Stacey Aubrey on the text line. I watched Hot Frosty this past weekend. It was so cheesy and so good.
Yeah, right
Well,
up
there
her
you
alley.
go. You got your review. Thanks.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Okay, so we'll make the ultimate decision tomorrow. We'll let you keep weighing in, but I think we've whittled it down here due to multiple votes coming in for Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man with Don Johnson and Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, it was good. I like that movie, too.
Have you looked at the movie poster for this one, Curbs?
Yeah.
Does it...
What's with the cowboy get up here?
Well, he's the Marlboro Man.
Like he's got a
That's his
vest
gimmick.
and he's got a hat and
That was the thing. It was city meets country kind of thing, right?
Okay.
Two Lone Riders, boom, boom, boom.
So Harley Davidson is this
David,
like the
David, not
David?
David.
Very famous brand.
is this about the is this the
David.
origin story of the biking? biking industry?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it. If you're going to watch it, I will have to go watch it.
Like, that's the thing, Phil. You always know these movies.
I
and
know.
So, like, this is crazy. If we're going to do this one, we both have to watch it.
It's an action movie, right? Early 90s. It's not long. It's about 90 minutes, if I remember correctly. It's got some great actors in it, like Tom Sizemore, Mickey Rourke, Don Johnson. You've got the cowboy and the biker, and they get together, basically, I believe, because of common ground. But there's Giancarlo Esposito in the movie.
Wow.
Daniel Baldwin's in this movie. It's
at
pretty cool.
How young Mickey Rourke is.
The dude who plays
that's
Gus in Breaking Bad is in this movie.
Yeah, that's what Joe just said.
Yeah,
Giancarlo Esposito.
I just recognized him from the photo.
But it didn't do well ratings-wise, but...
None of these do, though. That's the whole point.
But I'll tell you, I think, I don't know. I liked this movie when it came out. I saw it at the theater, believe it or not.
So we'll make the final decision tomorrow. I'm leaning towards this one.
Me too.
I also think down the road, like we just discovered off air, that you haven't seen Man on Fire with Denzel Washington, which is unbelievable. So we'll put that in the hopper for down the road.
That one, like, looks like I would actually genuinely enjoy that
There's
movie.
nothing cheese about that movie.
It's just
it
awesome.
was good.
But it's an awesome action movie.
Yeah.
And listen, if you want to throw in your own reviews on Hot Frosty, the text line's always available to you because Phil and I are not.
It's a big movie, you
Hot
guys.
Frosty sounds like something I watch on my phone and then delete the browser history after.
Yeah.
Hot Frosty.
I should have sold it
Ice
to you
cream man.
differently.
The ice cream man comes and delivers Hot Frosties.
Always delivers.
It says, when Widow Kathy magically brings a snowman to life, his innocence helps heal her heart.
Let me review that quickly.
Phil, are you done?
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.